it's Shawnee. Welcome back. Okay, so I already had my makeup done, but I just took my eye makeup off a little bit. Just because I feel like doing it and talking. And also, I did my makeup like super quickly this morning because I was running late. Or at least I wasn't running late, I was just late. There was no running about it. But earlier I used the NATASHA DENONA Mini Sunset Palette. And earlier in the week, I actually used the Sunrise Palette. This was like the first mid-size palette that she came out with like years ago. Ooh, so now I'm like, which one do I want to use? Maybe I'll combine them. Let's do that. And earlier today, I also used the Blurring Balm from Danessa Myricks. I used it in shade 9.5. Now, I have 9.5, 10, and 11. 10 I use for like bronzer, and 11 I use for like contour. I finished all of my shade 9. I think that's like the 4th one I've finished. And I got 9.5 because I wanted to see how it fit. And I think it's fine. I was like, oh, maybe I should buy another 9. But I think I'm just gonna use this. I don't know, whatever. What a day, week, year, life, decades it has been, okay? How are you doing? Because there is so much happening in the world. I don't know where to like, hey Rose, why is she running? I don't know where to start, where to finish, where to anything. Things have just been crazy. First of all, this girl over here, the cat. Do your animals just do stuff and you're just like, why? Or it like, sometimes I wake up and things are different and I'm like, just what were you doing last night? Well, I was asleep. What were you doing? So I come into this room. Miss Ma'am has been taking up residence over here. I'm going to go in with my paint base from Colored Rain. Been taking up residence in this room, which, you know, I'm letting her. Initially, I was like, can you please? This is my room. Like, this is where I do my makeup. Anyway, but she's a little afraid of the new bed, which is amazing. The bed and also her not pasted up against me in it. So one day I was looking around for her and I couldn't find her. I'm like, I wonder where she went at. And I eventually, I don't know how it happened, but I came in here and there's a space between the dresser and the wall. And between that space is like these pillows I was going to get rid of. And that's where she was, just curled up. So, of course, because I got one of her little blankets and put it there also, just to, you know, give her a little bit of comfort. So that's where she be posted up. So here's the thing. I'm debating when and if I'm gonna kick her out of here. Because several times I have come in here and just saw like things that are just like, why is this happening? There's currently a roll of toilet paper just right here on the floor. I didn't put it there. I don't know how it got here. I don't know how it got here. And I'm thinking it's part of the reason I had to go buy a whole new pack of toilet paper yesterday. Which we'll get to that. How did she get it? Why did she get it? Which bathroom did she get it from? And what does she need it for? Her, like, what's it called? Her toilet, what's that thing? The litter box is downstairs. I'm like, is she doing something in here that she would need the toilet paper for? But I'm just like, how and why? When? Why is it here? I'm gonna let her have it. I don't know what she did with it. You could have it now. Plus, I went and bought some toilet paper yesterday. And the thing is, when I tell you I went to the store to get some toilet paper and some pasta, pesto, what else did I get? Coffee creamer, and some yogurt and granola. $60. Look, what? I turned to the cashier lady and I was like, what? Did you ring up something extra? Like, what did I get? One little bag. It's like one little bag plus the packet of toilet paper. And I literally was like, she must have rang up somebody else's stuff, because the yogurt was like $4 for $5. The coffee creamer was like $2. The toilet paper was the expensive thing, which at $15. That's expensive. The granola was like $4. Like, I'm just like, first of all, also, all of this is expensive. And she was like, girl, inflation. And I was like, girl, shoot, I guess I'm gonna be living off of water and sunshine for the next few years. Like, what, y'all? I am just flabbergasted. Just the root. $60. Something I could barely make an entire meal out of. God forbid I want to put some meat or veggies in the pasta. Girl, you don't have enough money for that. Ooh, Lord, I need to start doing one of those windowsill like gardens or something. We just need to have a whole vegetable garden up in here, because I am confused as to stuff is so expensive. I am so stressed. Okay? Small businesses are being taken down. Me and G are like, dude, business owner life, not the business. Okay. Should I just go back in with what I had on? And we all know why. It's because of the dude in the White House. Oh yeah, price of eggs. How much your eggs are? $6? I just feel like people make decisions that are going to affect everyone, and they just do not care. They don't. There's a lack of empathy just rushing through our society. I don't be talking about it on here, but I might have to. I actually think I'm gonna go in. Wow. Oh, this light went off. Great. Just do what you want. I feel like there are some similarities in here, right? I just need the light to decide. You gonna work or you not gonna work? It's a pretty simple situation. It's probably because it's not plugged in. My bad. That's funny. Okay, there we go. Right. Did I just show you the bronze palette? I did. Like, just rewind back and pretend I said that this was sunrise. This is sunrise. Girl, I don't know. All right, we'll get there together. What was I gonna say? Yeah, things are just rough, okay? I was on Reddit today, just like looking at one of the subreddits that's for like therapists, and everybody's talking about the summer slump, which every year, this is just like very, like something. Consistent. Every year, things go down in the summer in terms of clients and stuff. Like, you know, the sun is out, people are going on vacation and all that stuff. Your income just like shoots down, right? Then on top of that, the government comes in and takes about a good 50% of your income. So not only are you making less, you're still giving the amount. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it because right now, we just have to live on prayer and champagne. Okay? The cheap stuff. What do I want to use? Obviously, this is like one of my favorite colors. Okay, I think I will use a shimmer from here and then one from the mid-size palette and then figure out what mattes I will use. Y'all, the thing is, the Diddy trial, I've told all of my clients, do not watch, okay? Do not watch, do not listen, because of just all the trauma dumping that has occurred. Of course, I've watched and I've listened and I've followed it, and I'm not even gonna say I can't believe. You know, he was found not guilty on 3 charges and guilty on 2. And it really confirmed to me that our world is terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. And I say that because I think people have a misconception about a lot of things. And yes, there's the legal piece that I am not well versed on. I'm a little versed. But anyway, the verdict is the verdict, right? He's a trash person. He is terrible. I think he's an actual demon. I do, honestly. But what gets me are his supporters and the people that are out in the streets celebrating. The verdict is the verdict is the verdict, right? But it really bothers me that some people have been out there, like, outside the courthouse, like, jiggling and putting baby oil on themselves. I'm disgusted by that behavior. I think that it is just a major FU to every victim and survivor out there of, like, victims and survivors of intimidation, of, like, abuse, like, of being coerced, of having, you can't, like, fight against the system. Like, it's so distasteful, and it really, like, it bothers me. It really bothers me a lot, because it just further kind of solidifies the fact that, child, the world don't care. World don't care, especially if you have money, and especially if your victims are women and women of color. I'm gonna just put it out there. The world don't care. So that happened yesterday while I was taking a much needed and actually sort of forced mental health day. And I was just like, for real? Like, okay, guys, just anything else? And you know, whenever you ask that question, more comes. You know, when people are like, well, it can't get any worse. I never say that, because it's like, yes, it can and it will. All right? For me, it does. For me, it's like, we're not even going to pretend that we're going to give you a break. Karma, the world, we're just going to come at you hard, okay? And that's what's happening. That is what's happening. And that's what, like, I'm just, you know how the people in church be like, just give it to God? I don't have anybody else to give it to but him, okay? He gonna have to figure it out, because it's too stressful. It's too much. It's too much. I am trying to hold on for dear life. But y'all, I like this little gradient here. Now, we've talked about emotional support animals, right? Let's see. In the past, I want to say in the past month or two, a couple of clients, long-term clients, have asked me about emotional support animals. And I'm sticking to I'm not writing the letters. And I have very many, like, liability and ethical considerations that I've thought of that no, I can't. But I will help people find someone that will. I have no qualms about that. Like, I'm just not going to do it myself. Why was I saying that? I mean, but I do sometimes encourage clients to get pets, because pets are good for your mental health. It's just that having them designated as emotional support animals really doesn't mean anything. It's mainly for housing. That was just on my mind, because I just talked to a client about it. I talked to a client about both of these things, or two clients, different ones, both of these things: emotional support animals, the state of the world, trauma, you know, all the good things. But on a lighter note, maybe two lighter notes. So I've been using this different hair brand. It's called Camilla. Is it Camille Rose? Camille Rose or Camilla? You know me and names. And I feel like it makes my hair very curly. I gotta see. But there's one product that makes it so easy to detangle my hair. And I don't know if anyone has used Tracy Ellis Ross's products. I haven't used any of her products, but I have her tools, like her combs and brushes. Man, I really like those. When I tell you, I didn't mean to do that. They really get through my hair, which is not an easy feat. I'm gonna just tell you that. So with all of that in mind, I think I'm just gonna rock my natural hair on the cruise. I don't want to have it out too much. I'm probably just gonna have it like in flat twists or something. I just don't want to, I don't know. I haven't decided. Usually when I go on any sort of vacation, I have my hair like braided or something. But one, I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like braiding it. And I don't feel like having somebody else, paying somebody else to do it. Yeah. Just as low maintenance as we can be, child. But in an even lighter note than that, you know, when you go to a hotel, you can ask for a wake-up call, right? I'm going to go in with a bit of the HD Skin from Makeup Forever. This is in the shade 4N68. And since I used the blurring balm, that's kind of like a primer. So I'm just going to go in with this foundation on top. What was I saying? Oh, you can ask for a wake-up call, right? I don't know if anybody has used that. I feel like they've gone out of style, mainly because lots of people have like their cell phones and things like that. Anyway, there is a place in China, a hotel, and they have a special sort of wake-up call that you can have. Like it's the only one offered, I believe. And what it is that the way that they wake you up if you ask for a wake-up call, they bring in like red pandas into your room, let the pandas roam around a little bit, and then the pandas jump on your bed and wake you up. And the government is like, stop. You can't do this no more, right? Here's the thing. No, okay? No. That's not the kind of wake-up call I asked for. Because I went ahead and looked up, I think I was like, are red pandas dangerous? Because who came up with this? Hold on, somebody is messaging me. Huh. Hold on. No rest for the wicked, nor the weary, nor me. You know how like there's all that stuff about like the universe or God doesn't give you more than you can handle or bear? I'm convinced that someone has like misevaluated me. Because they're giving me a little too much, and I would like to apply for accommodations because I can't, okay? I can't, but I have to. Anyway, so yeah, the red pandas. I put on some concealer. This is the Makeup Forever HD concealer, and I'm actually going in with the NYX Pro Fix Stick concealer just to put some kind of lightness under here. So yeah, there's that. The red pandas, like they say that they are mostly tame, usually tame, as am I, okay? But that does not mean that they are always. Again, as am I. And so I feel like, first of all, what are the ethics? What are the ethical considerations of you having these red pandas? Who's handling them? Are they appropriately trained? Are these pandas employed, or are you just using them to use them? You know what I'm saying? Because that's not cute. How did you get them? Where you get them at? They're not at the toy store. The pet store. They're not either. They're not at the toy store nor the pet store. So where you get them? That doesn't make any sense. And the thing is, I feel like that's a very dangerous thing to do, because we don't know what's going to scare these pandas, okay? They're like little and cute and but we literally don't know. Like, what if the panda comes in the room and somebody's snoring real loud, like some of y'all do, and it scares the panda? And then what? Pandas, don't they be having claws and stuff? They will slash you right in your face. Or what if you forget that you asked for this particular wake-up call, and you wake up and there's an animal in your face, and you just like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's a liability issue. I'm guessing that they have people sign stuff, but still, I'm not down with it. I wouldn't be going to that hotel. But people are like, we really love it. We love waking up to a really cute little panda. No, you crazy is what you're saying. And they are playing into that craziness that you have going on. Going in with the Pat McGrath under eye setting powder. That's what it is. That's what it is. You're crazy, which is fine. And they are playing into it, which would be fine if not for the fact that they are, you know, messing around with pandas. Why do people think that having wild animals around them is okay? That's why all these animals are like fighting back. How many things have you seen lately of animals like escaping the zoo, or they running down the road, okay, or biting people? And I think it's because we have gotten too comfortable and too familiar. And the animals are also like, we need to get these humans off this planet. They are not good for us. But y'all, speaking of the zoo, have you been hearing about these things where, I think they're called takedowns or something, where teens are just like showing up, like teenagers are showing up at places, just like hundreds of them, and just like either partying or fighting or whatever, and basically they put the flyer or notice out on social media, and it's like, everybody meet here at a certain time on a certain day. The most recent one, well, that I'm aware of, I think it was in Denver. Whole bunch of them went to the zoo just to like be at the zoo. And this is how I know that for sure a teenager thought this up, because you know, their brains are not fully developed. Because why would you think that it's smart for a whole bunch of people to just pop up at the zoo? Like, a whole bunch of y'all? There are animals there. There are animals at the zoo. And they are usually not happy about being caged up anywhere. And somebody's going to climb on something, fall right into somebody's den. And then what? It was fun. Like, some people are like, well, teenagers don't have anything to do these days. You know, there are a lot of resources that have been taken away by dude in the White House. So that part I understand, but also nothing else y'all can find to do. And, you know, some people are like, oh, we used to do stuff like that. I didn't. I was and am, well, not anymore. I was a goody two shoes, and I didn't do stuff like that. This one lady at yoga was like that a bunch of these kids just showed up at their apartment pool and had an impromptu party with like a teenage mariachi band. And I'm just, go to summer school or something. Get a summer job, work at a camp, babysit people's babies. I don't think it makes sense for you to be going all up in people's spaces and lollygagging. What would you do if your child did that? I would have a problem. Like, oh, so you have time to do all that? I guess you also have time to get a job. Because right now it seems like you have too much time on your hands. Let's go ahead and fill that time. Because obviously you want something to do. That's probably how I would react. Going in with this Danessa Myricks Rosé and Brunch blush here. Just looking for a brush. Brush. But you know what? These kids, these are, you know, they're part of the COVID kid generation. And we don't know how they gonna turn out. It's not looking good. That's one thing that I know, it's not looking good. Because also people are just trying to learn everything on YouTube, and everybody thinks they can do everything. Like, there is this family, I believe it's a Czech family, CZECH, since I'm probably not pronouncing it as I should. And it's a mom, dad, and their son. And I think, you know, the parents are like in their 40s, 50s. The son is like early 20s. They decide that they wanted to do a family business, which is great, okay? The thing is that the family business that they decided to do and open is a dental office. Fine. But the thing is, ain't nobody amongst them a dentist. Nobody has had any training, and yet and still they have been practicing as a dental office. The son does all the like main work. The dad makes like prosthetics and stuff and molds for the teeth. The mom does like some anesthetic stuff and all of that. And I think they've been doing it for about a good 3 years. As we know of, no complaints. Or maybe now somebody felt like they didn't do their crown right or something, and they complained because the like president of whatever board is like, yeah, we get about 10 of these complaints a year. And I'm just stuck on, why do people keep doing that? I understand, okay, that you need to find a way to make dollars, as do I. So here people are like, we're gonna have some pandas come into the room, and we are going to start a dental practice, even though ain't none of us dentists. And you know how he supposedly learned how to do it? YouTube. What gets me is like, I feel like there are so many of these stories, and they be tripping me out, because I'm like, do you know how long I was in school? I was in school for 27 years. Okay, I'm not even kidding. I started at 3. I was in school. I started at 3, and I was licensed as a psychologist at 29. Maybe it's 26 years. I had to do all that, and all you did was buy yourself a little white lab coat off of Amazon, picked up a child's stethoscope at like Walmart, and now you're in here prescribing medication. I've even heard of people who are pretending to be like psychologists and stuff, and psychiatrists, and like doling out medication. What? You are putting the public at risk. And like, you can't just try on being a dentist for 3 years with no supervision, no training. Like, who does that? Who just decides, or am I doing life wrong? Should I just be like, I think I'm gonna go do this. Let me just look on YouTube. How do you do dentistry? And just go ahead and set up, you know. And this is a family business, so all of y'all, you know that your child has not gone to dental school. You know that. You know. Unless, I don't know how you wouldn't know. And child, you know that your parents have no experience in the dental field. Maybe y'all don't know. Maybe you've been lying to one another for years, because that has happened too, right? Remember all them stories of like kids lying about being in school and stuff, and then taking their parents out because the parents found out or whatever. So maybe they don't know. This man is going to her little corner. I guess she's like, it's time for me to go to bed. Like, So yeah, people are just insane, okay? I said it. The world is not a better place. I feel like, at least for the next century, the world is gonna be a bad place. We're in the bad place. This is the bad place, okay? Obviously. Let me know if you watch that show. Because this is not the good place. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I hope there's no worse place, okay? I hope this is it. This is just, that's it. It doesn't get any worse, but I don't even want to say that either. Anyways, here's a finished look, y'all. Let me put a bit of powder on. This is my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Setting Powder. This is it. I feel like I look tired, but I think also this is what you're going to get today. Anyway, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. What else? Well, I would love it if you like the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.